Good morning, YouTube. Louie here with the news of the week. We're going to try to figure out what happened last week and what you should pay attention to. Thanks for joining me on this Saturday, June 15th. And to those of you dads out there, happy Father's Day weekend. I hope you get everything that you wanted. Let's get going with the biggest stories of the week and see what we should be aware of. Okay, we are going to start with coinnews.net. And looks like they released the Proof Buffalo, the 4/9s 24 karat Proof Buffalo this morning with a limited mintage of 16,000. Will they sell them? I don't think so. Check out the price on this. Here we go at the U.S. Mint website. $3,240, literally nearly a $100 premium on these Proof Gold Buffaloes. Unless that mintage is low, look, they don't even have a household order limit. So, yeah, let's buy those in the aftermarket. What do you say? But at the U.S. Mint, the other thing coming up, which you may not be paying attention to, is they are taking subscriptions for the Morgan Silver Dollar and the Peace Silver Dollar, both uncirculated versions. That comes out on July 11th, and if you want to subscribe to that, just click that and go to subscriptions. And let's see, I think they ought to be down here. All right, subscribe. Here we go. So I believe you can subscribe for a limit of 25. Not that you want that many. They're going for $76, and those have been pretty good coins. Excuse me as the cat jumps up on my lap. Hopefully it didn't stop my recording. Okay, so yeah, we've got the Morgan and the Peace dollars coming out. You may want to get those to continue your collection. So that's what's up at the U.S. Mint. And anything else on coinnews.net. Let's see if there's any other big stories. I don't think so. Okay, moving over to Zero Hedge. Well, we're going to try. Let's see. What happened here? There we go. Okay, Macron has gambled and lost. As you know, there are major developments happening in France. The French stock market has tumbled, I think, to a 2-year low. I may not be able to get that, but I have heard in the news that they are leaning to the right in France, as they are in many other countries, and you know that is protectionist. That is definitely going to curtail commerce between countries. I heard that they were looking to lower the retirement age. I think the population has had just about enough in Europe with the green policies, with the austerity, etc. And of course, they are all subject to the euro. And when one tumbles, they possibly all tumbles. I think France is the number 2 economy in Europe. And that is really bad news. Look for destabilization abroad. And what will that do to the United States? Well, I hear people saying we are too strong for that to come to our shores. But just look around at the discontent in the street, and you will see that we are headed in the same direction in a very protective, more protectionist environment. Of course, that's not stopping the wars across the globe, etc. Okay, this is interesting, and I saw a nice interview. I think it was done by Kitco. No, it was done by David Lynn. And they were talking about the population crisis. And as you know, when we were younger, unless you're really young, you'll know that we talked about the population bomb and how the Earth would not sustain our way of life. If we keep growing to, 8 billion, 9 billion, 10 billion. I don't know what the latest estimate was, but the actual crisis that is happening right now is that in all countries, As they industrialize, this is happening in China, this has happened in China, this is happening in India, all across the world and in America as well. People are not having children anymore as we turn our backs on more traditional values, as women are prominent in the workforce and getting educations and not starting, their families until age 30 and so. So population sizes are dropping, and actually we can expect a shrinking world population over the next 30, 40, 50 years. And as governments try to intervene in China, they're doing many things to try to get people to have kids. But the fact is that people, as they develop careers and as they are faced with inflation and cost of living, and as they move from the farm to the cities, children are just not as useful and not as desirable. And as they turn their backs on Christianity or whatever religion they may practice, they are looking more towards lower family sizes. And therefore, all right, so the rub is that people often think that we need a growing population, all right, to spur growth, to spur demand, to create goods and services, to utilize goods and services, which is mostly what we do in America. We consume things. We don't really make as much as we used to. But with a shrinking population and a growing baby boomer population, we are at some point in the future, we are going to get to a point where it is a 1-to-1 ratio between old and young. And they went on to say, well, you probably ought to invest in things that the world will need to care for the aging population, whether that be nursing homes, pharmaceutical products, etc. But the upshot is we are headed for a destabilizing period over the long run as the population shrinks and the consumer base shrinks. I would think that'd be deflationary, but it could also be stagflationary, as there are fewer people to make things and fewer people to buy things. But very interesting, turning the old paradigm on its head. And from what I hear, it is irreversible. Okay, we've got a new COVID strain. I don't know anything about that. As you know, Putin is majorly pissed off. We'll take a look at that petrodollar story in a minute. Here is France literally falling apart, and I don't have their screenshot of their stock market, but about the only place abroad that I would be putting money these days would be India, because they are on a tear, and India is the new China, right? All right, we've got tariffs up the butt, and we are mad at the automakers in China for flooding the market. Well, they are trying to stabilize and inflate their economy as their currency crumbles. So naturally, they're flooding the markets with as many products as they can build. They're probably not building as many bridges to nowhere and cities of the dead anymore. But they can make a lot of solar panels, and they can make a lot of electric vehicles at a very low price. And we are protecting, our government is protecting the citizens from these cheap products by imposing tariffs. Biden likes tariffs. Trump likes tariffs even more. More protectionism, and that's going to generate inflation and uncompetitive industry in America. It's not a good thing, but the Chinese are definitely flooding the market with cheap products. Anything else here we want to take a look at? Austria. German politicians fingered in Chinese cash for permits corruption scandal. Hey, the interesting, as I said on my last video, I'm shopping for a new car because my lease is up. And I'm looking at Toyotas right now, looking at that Corolla Cross. That looks pretty neat, pretty cheap too. But boy, Toyota has been ravaged with scandals. Apparently, they're cooking the books when it comes to their crash tests. The engines in some of their bigger vehicles are failing due to shoddy craftsmanship. And Toyota is really, really taking it on the chin. And that's the cat in the background. So take a look at those stories. Boy, it's really shocking for the number one car maker in the world with the highest reputation in the world to be found cheating on crash tests. So there you go. Okay, let's take a little break from that news, and I want to point out this video from Salivate Metals. Silver just did something we've never seen before. What he's doing here is he's looking at the juxtaposition of silver price and SLV inventory levels. And I'm not going to get into it, but a lot of people think that the foreign governments are accumulating silver, a very necessary commodity. They're accumulating silver by cashing out of the SLV. And he is looking at the trends between, he's reporting on people that have looked at the trends between SLV and silver price on a historical basis. I think it's a video worth watching. It kind of it will open your eyes a little bit to what might be happening here. And as you know, we had the big news the other day that China is curtailing its gold demand. Okay, I saw another good article on this. So you might say the party is over for gold. There may be a an inverse head and shoulders. No, I'm sorry, a head and shoulders forming. It might go to lower levels, 2100, etc. I don't really expect that. I think we're coiling here for another move higher. And many people have $2,500 to $3,000 price targets. There's the cat again. Sorry about that. She just jumps right up. I can't stop her. Yeah, but I saw an interesting take on this from Vince Lancy, where he says that, yeah, of course China is going to announce that they've stopped buying gold and stopped buying gold in the traditional markets that can be examined. But he thinks what's happening here is that China and India and possibly other countries who are all accumulating gold at record paces because it is the number one tier one asset with no counterparty risk. What are you going to buy? Chinese bonds, right? You going to buy U.S. bonds? Well, maybe I do. But he's saying that China and India may have some kind of a reciprocal friendship deal, and they've driven the price up so far so fast that they need to take turns with the purchasing. So China may have announced that they've stopped buying gold and the top came off the market, but watch India. And then when India stops buying gold and announces that, watch China and just see if maybe they're manipulating the market in a little Watusi here, 1-2 Watusi, where they keep buying but they don't blow the top off the gold market. All right, Saudi Arabia, here is the big deal. I don't know if I got it or not. Saudi Arabia ends 80-year petrodollar deal with U.S. for multi-currency sales. All right, well, you guys know the petrodollar was set up by, I think, Kissinger way long ago. It was a brilliant scheme whereby the United States would offer protection to Saudi Arabia with our massive military force in exchange for them trading the number one commodity in the world, oil, in U.S. dollars. And if you want to know more about that, check out the euro dollar. You'll want to study euro dollars because actually there's more to dollars abroad than just what people buy from the Treasury. People trade in euro dollars all over the world and have debts in euro dollars. A euro dollar is just a U.S. dollar that has never touched the shores of the U.S. It is a medium of exchange between countries that is linked to much trade and debt. And there's a whole story behind that. But it was a brilliant scheme cooked up many years ago to help America. I don't know where the brilliant people are today. Our country is run by suboptimal politicians that can't seem to think their way out of a paper bag. But we've allowed this to happen. Obviously, we've alienated all of our allies. And even the allies we do have, Israel, maybe they shouldn't be allies. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't be giving money to people that have a lower debt to GDP ratio than we do. Okay, and maybe we shouldn't be giving money to countries where corruption abounds, and most of the money is probably going back to the Clinton Foundation or the New Green Initiative or the Gates Foundation or wherever, and then we're sending them old airplanes and we're stimulating our industry by giving away military products, which basically are blown up almost the moment we give them away, which is not a productive use of money or assets or time. It's anything in the military is pretty much a dispensable product. As it brings death and destruction throughout the world. And I'm not a believer in that. But, the petrodollar, so Saudi Arabia has said we've had enough. We like the BRICS. We like Russia. We like trading in whatever currency, maybe the yuan from China. And they're trading back and forth. We'll be trading back and forth. Will they never do a deal in dollars again? I seriously doubt that. Is this something to worry about over the next 20 days? No, not at all. Not at all. I think that's pumping. But is it something to worry about over the next 20 years? Absolutely. And it can be reversed. We just need diplomacy from people that understand that there's give and take to a relationship with the United States. And the United States needs to back the hell off of all of its demands and bullying and currency confiscation, etc., and get into a more collaborative mode around the world. That's my opinion. But you can read the story and see what you think about that. Okay, and I'm going to leave you here right now with just another picture of those Morgan dollars. If you want to subscribe to that, subscribe to one. I don't think they'll sell out. The mintage is 275,000. They probably ought to do about half that if they want those to turn out like the first year's, prices, which were substantial. But that's all I'm going to show you today. Again, happy Father's Day. Thanks for clicking through the news of the week with me, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Louie out.